Well, we were first on the guy's name, the producer I was talking about, The Crook. We were first on Joe Webb's label which is Mayhew Records. And he had a connect up there in Sunnyview. So when he put it out, he must have pressed 1,000 or something like that, maybe 5,000, I don't know how many. And they started playing it on BLS, and the record was taking off. So Sunnyview, he went up to Sunnyview, and he got a deal, moved us over there. You know, that's basically all I know about it. I wasn't privy to it. You know, I'm sure he got some money, but he ain't give us none of it. Well, you're talking two stories. In the original stuff, all we had was we had an 808, a TB303. Me saying, because I'm saying like everybody knows what it is. A Roland TR808, which is the drum machine. A Roland TB303, which was a little bass line unit. We used it for bass lines, but we also used it for high note sequences because it was very programmable. We had a Sequential Circuits Pro 1, which was a mono synthesizer. And we had a Roland... No, RS-09, which was a string and organ-like synthesizer, and that's all we had. You know, so we did everything on those instruments, and we just, you know, layered.
All pre-MIDI.
Yeah, and this is all before MIDI was around anything, so everything was played. You know, by the second album, we had more equipment. Let's see. You'll notice on the second album we have a little 808, but I have basically moved on to an RX-11, a Yamaha RX-11 drum machine. We still used the other equipment, but we also had a Juno 60, then a Juno 106, a Jupiter 6. We eventually got who?
DX7.
Yeah. I forgot all about it. We had a Yamaha DX7, a Yamaha DX9. Didn't have the Oberheim yet. That was after the second album. Roland JX8P.
We have the Casios then, the FC101s?
Yeah. Just for, matter of fact, most of this stuff was just on the last song, which was Technology, which was the last song we made for that album. And I made it after I had all the equipment, which is why I was inspired to do a song called Technology, because I never dreamed I was going to have all this equipment. Yeah, we had two Casio.
FC101.
No, CC.
CC?
Yeah, I think it's CC 101.
Long time ago.
Yeah, the FC is the sample.
Right.
CC 101s. And MIDI sequencer by then. So we started with the MSQ 700 Roland MIDI sequencer, and then by Technology I had a Yamaha QX1. Well, Fresh Fest, again, you know, Joe Webb was handling it, so I don't know how it came about, but it was dope. Before the Fresh Fest, we were touring with Cameo and O'Brien, and I guess it led to that way. The Fresh Fest was dope. Some of the highlights from the Fresh Fest. Curtis Blow dropping his drawers in Philadelphia in front of 17,000 people. That will always be remembered. The night that Run came up with my house, whose house it is Run's house, because he was drunk. That wasn't Fresh Fest though. It was during the Fresh Fest, but it wasn't on a Fresh Fest show. It was a show we did with them up in Albany. And him and D had been getting drunk on the plane. And he was fired up, and he got to the stage late. And he came up with that all ad-libbed. And after that, he did it every show. And next thing you know, they did a record based on it. But we were there the night he first came up with it. It was funny as hell. It was funny as hell. The night that AJ was yeah, that AJ was lost for Curtis Blow. because AJ was Curtis Blow's DJ, and Jam Master Jay went up there and pretended to be him with AJ's jacket on, but he wouldn't look at the crowd. So Curtis Blow turned around and DJ AJ, and Jam Master Jay went with his back to the crowd. Went. We were floored. We were rolling. It was fun.
God, that was crazy.
It was a lot of fun. That was a fun tour, and we were breaking new ground. Hip hop was breaking new ground at that time. It was special.
Who else was on there? You had Houdini on there, and Jermaine Dupri was still a...
Yeah, Jermaine Dupri was a little Michael Jackson impersonator.
The tour bus in the Houdini video, is it Freaks Come Out at Night? Was it that one? The tour bus that they get out of in that video was a Newcleus tour bus.
Yeah.
So, a little tidbit. But there's a lot of things
cameo, right?
Yeah, we're in there. You gotta find us, but we're in there.
That's Freaks Come Out of Friends. That was
Friends.
Friends?
No, I think it's Freaks. I think it's Freaks, yeah. Well, we found out we were getting raped. And when we found out we were getting raped, we didn't know enough about the business. If I knew the business then, like I know now, I would have handled things differently. But all I knew is we didn't want to get raped anymore. So we said, we're not doing any more music with you. So we stopped and we went into producing our own stuff. Because we were told, well, they can't stop you from producing, which is basically what we were. He pretended to be our producer, but he never heard the stuff until we came into the studio and pressed the fucking buttons. So we said, well, we can produce other people. So we started doing that. Our first record called Greedy Girls by The Move was on Sunnyview. We went directly to Sunnyview for that. And then after that, we started our own label, Bainbridge Street Records. And then we had a couple more labels after that. We started producing our own stuff. But if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't have cut them off. I'd have found a way to cut him off. And going directly to the label and said, look, we're not working with him no more. You work with us. And because Newcleus ended too soon. And I really think that we had a lot more to give. And with us not realizing the position we were in, we could have done things differently. Well, there was no Newcleus. What me and Chili B did is we started doing hip hop and looking for R&B stuff. We were producing other hip hop acts, and a few years later, Chili B and I went our separate ways, and I started doing house, and I did house for a good while.
And also did PM Dawn's first single.
Oh yeah, that's right. How would forget that? We did.
Before they were PM Dawn.
Yeah, we found
Prince B.
We found PM Dawn. Al was up at Warlock Records as A&R, and we produced the first PM Dawn single, got them going, and then they probably screwed us. But that's all right. We cool now. But yeah. Like I was talking about the positive messenger stuff. That's what is left of stuff that we have from the positive messenger stuff. So most of the stuff that's on the site is pre-Newcleus. The actual positive messenger 4-track cassette demos. That we shopped with. There's also a couple of things on there like from studio sessions, cassette. From cassette copies from shit we recorded in the studio as Newcleus, and there's a couple of things that we produced as Newcleus for Joe Webb that I'm sure he took all the credit for, but we actually did the music for it. Never got paid for that either. Oh yeah, no, we're still doing music. Trying to finish up a last album. Since Chili B passed in 2010, so this is the last album that I'm trying to finish and get it out there. But no, I'm gonna be doing music till I die. Well, Global Funk Radio is an internet radio station in England. So the cats in the UK do, and in 2004, they contacted me for an interview. And I just liked the cats, you know. I liked what they were trying to do with the station. So a few years later, I said, well, listen, give me a show on that. So they were glad to have us. And so then we started doing that. It was me and my youngest son, Matthew, who's also known as DJ Dog Train, you know, and we do the show every Saturday at 5 p.m. EST. One is the very first hip-hop band was We Were, wasn't Stetsasonic. Long before Stetsasonic came out, we were touring live with Cameo and O'Brien, playing all of our instruments ourselves. Alright, so I want that. Want the fact that we did our own music. You know, we didn't do samples and stuff like that. We came up with our own beats, wrote our own stuff, produced our own stuff, played our own stuff, you know. And three, the uniqueness. You know, I like to believe that we come from an era, you know, where everybody tried to sound authentic and original. And I like to believe that we did that. You know, so nobody out there has ever sounded like Newcleus, and Newcleus hasn't sounded like anybody else. Our stuff sounds like us. You know, and I'm proud of that.